Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My talk today is going to be on forgiveness. It's something that I believe is very important when it comes to our own practice. When we practice Buddhism and we actually want to get somewhere with it. It's not just about studying the sutras or knowing history. It's more about what it does for ourselves. What does the practice do? How it helps us with everyday, with dealing with the everyday things in life. So Buddha said in his final days, he said, before passing away, he said to his students, be a refuge to yourself. And I think that was a very strong statement because he basically said, he later on said too, don't believe anything I said. So being a refuge to yourself means that you have to deal with yourself. It's the practice, it's aimed to that, to deal with ourselves. And when he said that, be a refuge to yourself, he meant that you deal with yourself. There's nothing out there that is going to make you improve yourself, but accept yourself. And he said it. It is, and that's one of this distinctions of Buddhism, that you get to know yourself, and the only way to get to know yourself is through your own understanding, through your own thinking, your own, in this case, being analytical. That's what you do, which, a lot of the people that practice Zen are analytical. So, I think that's what he meant by saying be a refuge to yourself. So you deal with yourself. Do not expect anything from outside. It is you that is gonna get you out of where you are. In other words, you yourself get yourself in the position that you are in life. If you're suffering, you yourself got there. Why? Because the way you were raised, or something might have happened to you, and it made you believe or act that way. So it is you that got you there. So in this sense, it is you who's going to get you out of there. That's what he meant by be a refuge to yourself. Because, and I stated again, he said, don't even believe it if I said it. So that takes a little, I would say, courage to do that, because he also said, when he said, I am the Buddha, that takes a lot of courage to say something like that. And from an ego standpoint, that would be like self-glorification, because nobody can say, I am the Buddha without thinking, wow, I'm full. So having the courage to see that and recognize ourselves as being, perhaps not now, but seeing that we all have this Buddha nature in us, and being courageous to just look at it and say, yes, I am capable of overcoming my own self. It's not that I'm hoping that someone is going to have a magic wand and just boom, touch me with it and things are going to be gone. These dealing with ourselves is something that we do every single day. Every single day is not, and there might not be a magic way to dealing with ourselves, but doing it every single second. Every single day, every single second of the day, we need to deal with ourselves. So that's the from the ego standpoint. We would think that it's not possible, and I think it is because we're used to, by our own human nature, to attack ourselves. We're always thinking, and we learn to defend ourselves. So we're attacking ourselves constantly. And therefore, we might turn rude or violent at some points in our lives because we're used to as humans to defend ourselves, therefore attacking. But we attack ourselves when we don't believe that we're capable of doing things, when we don't believe that we're capable of overcoming whatever situation we're going through. So one thing that can help us is learning to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves and just the way we are benevolent to other people, we have to be to ourselves. We have to understand that if we help someone, but we don't help ourselves, that help might as well not exist. It starts with ourselves. What we do out there is a mirror of what's inside of us, what we have created. So the world, the way it is, it reflects what we're going through. It reflects what we have inside. And forgiving ourselves, it gives you a clearing in which you can actually say, yes, I've done a lot of things in my life to myself, but it's okay. I didn't know any better. We're always doing, every single moment, we're doing the best we can. How do we know this? Because if we knew any other better way to do it, we would be doing it. We would be there. We wouldn't be questioning. So we have to start with that, forgiving ourselves and giving us that space so we can exist as we are. Mistakes will commit mistakes. But it's in that sense of forgiving ourselves that we can actually exist as ourselves. And then we also give the freedom to other people to exist as they are. We were talking just this morning about with Roshi in the class, when we define somebody as such and such, or when you put a label on something, that's it. Things are going to be that way. The same thing with people, with ourselves. The way we define ourselves, that's exactly how we're going to exist. If I say to myself, I am this, my actions are going to correspond to what I think I say I am. And many times those ideas about ourselves come from our experience, and I've done this in the past, therefore this is what I'm going to do. But it's because we keep attacking ourselves and we don't give ourselves that space. And when you give yourself the space to just be, just exist, just let yourself be as you are, after all, who's going to judge you but yourself? And if you keep judging yourself, more of it is going to come, I guarantee it. So when you give yourself that space to exist, you give people the space, the freedom to be. They can actually exist as they are. And once we do that with ourselves, with people, the universe itself becomes a place where you can just be, just be there without having to go through our daily suffering. It is, in Buddhism, when we take precepts, we say do not kill. Well, when we attack ourselves, when we don't give ourselves the freedom to be, we're killing. We're killing when someone tries to give you something good and you're not in a good mood to take any type of either conversation or praise or anything, we're killing that freedom, the freedom in people to express themselves, their intentions, their love. And at the same time, we're killing in ourselves the freedom to just be willing to accept whatever the world gives you, Whatever it is, we might define it as good or bad. It's a gift. And it's not up to what they give you or the intention that they give it to you, but how you take it, what you do with it. What it is that they're going to do with the situation that you have. You can turn it into a problem. You can turn it into an opportunity to grow. And I keep repeating the same example. When you get a flat tire, what is it, a flat tire or a problem? It's all up to you. It's just what you make out of situations. So when we allow ourselves to be, we can actually take a break from ourselves, from having to keep up with whatever it is that we think we need to do. Like I said, Cloud, we were talking about monks and how, we live by precepts that we took. But at the same time, putting a definition onto ourselves limits us from seeing other things. Because every single thought that we have is just a product of what we believe we are. So when we actually learn to see our thoughts as just a thought, it doesn't matter how important we think it is. It doesn't matter if we think that we're going to save the universe with our thoughts. It is just that. It is just a thought. So when we give ourselves the freedom to be, we can actually put in practice all those things that we are learning about ourselves. Roshi was just talking about it yesterday or the week before, I can't recall, but what you learn by yourself is just something that you just yourself know. But how are you going to implement it into your life? How are you going to actually make it part of your life? Otherwise, it's just knowledge, and knowledge, as we know, is just that. It's not going to help us not be any better. Just be good with ourselves. Be good to us. Be good to yourself. Be good and put it in practice. Let it come through you. Let it be a part of your everyday life. Let it shine through you. So that's when we have that freedom to be. You can just flow. You can just flow and, like we just read in the instructions for meditation. You just take your thoughts and the breeze that comes and goes. That way we can also be. We can just go with the flow, not, like water, it runs. You just flow. You just flow with things, with the universe, with the way life presents itself to us every day. So, for me, forgiveness has been an issue, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. Because I had to come to the point in which you have to really ask yourself, whatever has happened, regardless of whose fault it was, what do I really have to do? When am I really going to start living my life? When am I going to really just forgive myself and take the time to be, to exist in this moment? Just flow with it. So it hasn't been easy, but it has to come to, we all have to come to that point, that moment, and when we say, when is it going to be enough? We might as well be sitting for 30, 40, 50 years, and if we don't put in practice every single thing that we actually realize in ourselves, When are we going to start? When are we going to take the time to really, really live our lives and just taking action into it? Because nobody's going to come and do it for us. Roshi is not going to awaken each one of us. He's just the finger pointing at the one. It is us. It's each one of us that have to do the job because we have to deal with ourselves. It is us that we carry ourselves. And it is you who's going to give you the freedom, the right to be yourself. Nobody's going to grant you anything. So just start with forgiving yourself. It doesn't matter what you think you did, how bad I think it was. It was you. And you are always the best version of yourself. So just be and flow. Forgive yourself and forgive others. And the universe will love you back.
Really. I wish that